Camille a big round of applause.
I have a disclaimer. My presentation has very gory details and pictures, so if you want to step out, you can. Okay. So today I'll be talking about bullfighting. Bullfighting is a very bloody sport, and it's also very violent for the matador and the animal. However, in some countries like India, it's considered a sacrificial practice. Bullfighting takes place in countries like Venezuela, Mexico, and Spain. Some of you may be vegans or vegetarians or support animal life for ethical or environmental reasons, which is why I think this is a really interesting topic to talk about. After days of research, I have a better understanding of why this exists as a gruesome event and why it's a sacrificial practice in some cultures. After this speech, you will have a greater understanding of bullfighting as a sport and a sacrificial event. So I'll be talking about a little bit of history of bullfighting. Then I will tell you the process of preparing the bull for the event and what happens during the event. Then I will tell you one way they put the bull to good use after its sacrifice. So according to Timothy J. Mitchell, the author of Bullfighting, The Ritual Origins of Scholarly Myths, written in 1986, he believed that 18th century slaughterhouse employees were the first ones to make this bullfighting thing exist. They understood cattle behavior and they found out that killing these animals in public would make more money. Bullfighting started becoming a sacrificial event when people started questioning it, according to Alvarez de Miranda, a well-known bullfighter from Spain who Mitchell studied about. It was actually enthusiasts of Neolithic and Cretan theses that made it official that bullfighting reflected blood sacrifice of one bull to another. It is said by Mitchell that the skill in which the death of the bull is done is the most important reason of the matador's performance. So now that you know a little bit of history, I will be telling you what happens during the process of preparing the bull and what happens to the bull during the event. So on a website called League Against Cruel Sports, the staff of this organization works to expose and end cruelty inflicted animals in the name of sport. So the bullfighting thing begins when the bull is isolated as a calf and matures on its own. This is when they start to ruin the bull's psychology. Some of the things that they do to the bull includes shaving of the horns to confuse awareness, rubbing Vaseline into its eyes to blur its vision, stabbing its tendons to prevent the bull from lifting up its head, stuffing wet newspapers in its ears, putting cotton wool in its nostrils, sticking needles into its genitals, and rubbing caustic sodas in its legs. So once the bull enters the ring, men on horses stab the bull repeatedly with a barbed spear. When the matador enters, the bull is teased with colorful capes, and the red cape, like this one, is very commonly used to hide traces of blood. Like that'll help. So the bull's life ends when the matador hits the bull's or punches the bull's heart directly between his shoulder blades, like so. However, this is very, very rare that they get this on the first try and ends up like this. So now I just told you the process of preparing the bull and what happens during the event. Now I'm going to tell you one way they put the bull to good use after it is sacrificed. In a show called Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, Bourdain goes to Spain and watches and experiences a private bullfight. He says that this represents a sacrifice instead of entertainment, and he also explains how killing the animal is hard for the matador and the audience because of what they're going to get out of the bull, which is food. In a blog called Meaningful Violence, written in 2014 by Michael Robertson, he uses his experience of watching a bullfight in India and explains to show that what is sacrificed tells us what people value and who they understand themselves to be. Comparing bullfighting used as entertainment and sacrifice, I noticed a difference, and it's how the animals are raised. Animals who are raised for sacrifice are treated like, kind of like their pet, like their dog, but you don't kill a dog like we do, or we don't. And bulls used as entertainment goes through the really bad torture. So to wrap it up, I told you a little bit of history about bullfighting, and then I told you the process of preparing the bull for the event and what happens during the event, and then I told you one way they put the bull to good use after it is sacrificed. So with this information, you now understand and can form your own opinion on bullfighting. So now I ask you, should it be completely banned or kept for sacrificial purposes?